Hey, what's going on? Kerry Sullivan here with another How to Kick Ass in Sales. And today I want to talk to you about something that's very important, and that's failure. That's right, something that's very important. You see, as we go into school and we grow up and we're in school, we're taught that failure is a bad thing. If you don't get that 100%, then it's not good, and you go in it for perfection. You're not really taught to go too far outside the lines, right? You're told to kind of keep it the way they want it to be regurgitated to them, and you're taught not to fail. Failure is a bad thing. And I remember as a kid failing in tests, failing in subjects, and that never felt good at all, and it left a bad impression for myself, and it does the same for a lot of other people. You start thinking, oh, failure's bad. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're going out there and you're doing big things, and you're in sales and you're an entrepreneur, you're going to face a lot more failure and adversity than anyone, and that's just kind of the thing of playing it big. But playing it big is where it's at. You know, one of my favorite quotes out there, I've got to read it here, it's actually from Mr. Nelson Mandela, and he says, there's no passion to be found in playing small. And when you play small, you don't end up making as many mistakes. When you're going out there, you're doing big things and you're pushing the edge, that's where you go out there and you start having more of those failures. You know, if you look at the great inventors out there, the great entrepreneurs out there, they have a lot of failures. You know, here's a few examples. Joe Sugarman, who's one of the best copywriters of all time, is a guy who, he did the blue blocker sunglasses. I don't know if you guys remember any of that, but the blue blocker sunglasses was him. That was his whole invention. But he said 7 out of 8 ads that he ever did in his copywriting career completely bombed, did not work at all. You know, so that's just one example right there. You know, Mr. Richard Branson as well, you know, half the ventures he starts fail. Right? Half of them fail. And most businesses out there, you know, 1 in 10 fail or something like that. 1 in 8, or sorry, 1 in 10 make it, or 1 in 8 make it. It's something like that. So the odds are usually stacked up against you. But it's like an article I was reading about with Richard Branson one time, and he said, you know, look, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to get over the failure thing, because it's going to happen. Just get on with it. That's just the way it goes, and you got to learn your lessons, pack up, and move on. You know, I've been there myself. You know, I've had a few businesses that failed, and it doesn't feel good. And, you know, as a professional triathlete out there racing, guess what? And it's been a long road, and I've had a lot of failures. I've had a lot of races that just blew up completely in my face where I needed to have a big result, and I didn't. But, you know, I just dusted myself off, got up, and kept on my horse. And you got to do the same thing when you're out there. So you got to really look at failure as something to push you forward. It's not a bad thing. And one of the best speeches I've seen out there about failure is with Darren Hardy, and he talks about failure. And he talks about, in the beginning, when he was a real estate agent, he took this guy out who was giving a seminar to real estate agents. He took him out to lunch, and he's like, hey, I just want to pick your brains and everything and just figure out how I can do this. And the guy goes, hey, you want to have success? He goes, yeah, absolutely. He goes, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to experience more failure, more pain than anybody else out there as fast as possible, and you'll have more success than anyone. He's like, all right, awesome, I can do that. So Darren Hardy went knocking door to door, asking people, every single person in these neighborhoods, you know, do you want to sell your house? Are you looking to buy another house? And people go, no, and they slam the door in his face. You'd be like, yes, I get a no. I get some failure. The more of this I can experience, the better I'll do. And then he also went through and he started calling people who were taking their house off the market. And those are usually people who are pissed off, right? Because their house didn't sell, and so they took it off the market. They're not happy. And you call those people immediately, and he'd be relentless. He's just like, hey, I just saw your house didn't sell, and I just wanted to follow up with you, see what the deal is. And he'd be relentless. You'd go to their house, he'd bring them flowers or whatever, and you work on those people, and you get a lot of no's, and you get a lot of really angry people when you do that. But he loved it. He's like, yes, I'm going to experience more pain than anyone. And so within a few months, he was the top real estate agent in his office, and he was like the new kid on the block. I think he said he was like 18, 19 years old. And then he kept doing this, right? He kept going after getting as much failure as possible, and he's like, yes, I got more failure. Yes, I got more failure. I got more pain. Oh, that was really embarrassing. That guy just screamed and yelled at me. This is awesome, right? More doors slammed in my face, the better. So that was his attitude. As much failure as I could get, the more success I'm going to have, right? And so he went out there and just rocked it out the fullest that way. And he became, I can't remember exactly, but he basically became like the best real estate agent in the state or something like that in a really short period of time. I think it was within a year. Don't quote me on that. But he basically had huge success way faster than almost anybody out there will have, just because he was committed to looking at failure in a different way, as a necessary way, and having all the pain that he possibly could to make him the best he could be. So that's it. So that's what I have to say to you entrepreneurs and salespeople out there. Go out there, get as much failure as you can, eat that up, eat it for breakfast, crap it out for lunch, and that's it. I'll see you on the next How to Kick Ass in Sales Manana. Hey, if you like this, feel free to share. If you get any questions, feel free to ask them as well. And I will see you on the next How to Kick Ass in Sales video. Peace and love. Bye-bye.